Today, we're going to talk about something that can totally flip the script on how you use videos in your classroom. We're moving away from students just sitting there watching and into something way more dynamic: active learning with reaction videos. Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about a problem that I'm guessing a lot of you have probably seen in your own classrooms. You know the scene, right? You put on a video and you're looking out at your class wondering, are they actually absorbing this, or are their eyes just glazed over? It's so easy for them to just zone out, especially when they're used to binging shows all by themselves. And this really gets to the heart of the shift we're talking about. On one side, you've got passive viewing, just sitting there trying to take it all in and, let's be honest, probably losing focus pretty quick. But on the other side, you've got active reacting. This is totally different. Now students are in the driver's seat. They're pausing the video, they're responding out loud, they're actually engaged. It makes learning feel real because they get to show you exactly what's going on in their heads. So, how do we get there? Well, the solution might be something your students are already experts in. Let's talk about the reaction video. Yeah, you've definitely seen these online, but think about it. A reaction video is really just a modern-day version of annotating a text. Seriously. Instead of scribbling notes in the margins of a book, students are hitting pause, asking questions, and making connections out loud, in real time. It's an academic task, just wrapped in a format they already get and, frankly, already love. And here's the best part. You don't need any fancy equipment. A simple computer, even a Chromebook, and a basic screen recording tool is pretty much all you need to get started. Headphones with a mic? Super helpful for sure, especially if you've got a full class doing this. But the main point is, this doesn't require a big budget. It's something pretty much anyone can do. All right, so let's say you're on board. You want to try this. Let's walk through how you can actually roll this out and turn it from just a fun little activity into a really powerful tool for analysis. It's really just a 4-step process. First, you start with the fun stuff. Show them movie trailers or music videos to get them used to the idea. Then let them practice on a video they actually pick themselves. That gets the buy-in. Once they're into it, you can start showing them examples of more in-depth commentary. And finally, you can layer in some more formal structures, like an analytical framework, to help them organize their thoughts. And listen, don't be surprised if things get a little goofy at first. You're going to have students mimicking their favorite YouTubers, saying things like, "Smash that like button." And that's not just okay, it's wonderful. It means they're comfortable, they're engaged, and they're having fun with it. The deep analysis will come, I promise. Because that's the key thing to remember here. This whole thing is a process. It's a journey. It starts with that fun and mimicry, and then, with a little guidance from you, it slowly evolves. Students will start pausing the video on their own to really dig into a point, and that's when you see that complex, analytical thinking start to blossom. But what about that student who just freezes and says, I don't know what to say? For them, there is an absolutely brilliant tool called the Reaction Video Menu. This thing is a game changer. It's a scaffold that gives them a list of options when they feel stuck. As you can see, it breaks reactions down into 4 main types: intellectual, emotional, critical, and even physical. Let's quickly go through each one. Okay, first up, intellectual reactions. This is the heavy lifting analytical stuff. This is when a student pauses and asks a question, or predicts what's going to happen next, or even connects what they're seeing to something you talked about in class last week. They're basically showing you their brain working. Then you've got the emotional reactions. You know what I'm talking about. The classic jaw drop when something shocking happens, or that scrunched up face of total confusion. These gut reactions are so important. They show that the student is connecting with the material on a human level. Next up, critical reactions. This is where students start to form and express their own opinions. They might disagree with something in the video, or shout, "Yes, exactly," when a point resonates with them. They can even get meta and critique the video itself, the editing, the music, anything. And last but not least, physical and non-verbal reactions. Sometimes you don't even need words. That moment a student physically leans into the screen because they're so captivated, or a facepalm, or a big eye roll. That's all data. It's all a form of commentary that tells you they're engaged. What's really great about this method is how flexible it is. You can support every student. If someone is super uncomfortable being on camera, no problem. Let them just record their voice. And if even that is a stretch, they can use something like Canva to add their reactions with text, emojis, or images. The whole point is to get their thoughts out, not to make them into performers. So you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but where would I actually use it?
Honestly, the possibilities are just about everywhere. Let's look at a few examples.
I mean, just look at how versatile this is. In a math class, you could have students react to a video of someone solving a problem the wrong way, and their job is to find the mistake. For history, imagine them reacting to a primary source speech, analyzing its tone and impact. In science, they could watch an experiment and predict what's going to happen. It works for pretty much any subject.
So when you put it all together, what's the real payoff here? Why should you bring reaction videos into your classroom?
Well, here are the big wins. You take something passive, screen time, and make it active. You get a literal window into how your students are thinking. You're using a format they already know and use every day. Plus, they're building tech skills right alongside content knowledge. It's a win-win-win.
But if you take away just one thing, let it be this. The whole point of this is for students to share their thinking. That's it. There are no wrong answers. It's about the process, not about getting it right, and that creates a space where every single student can feel successful. So, we'll leave you with a question to chew on. The next time you're about to hit play on a video for your class, ask yourself, how are you going to transform that screen time into real, active thinking time?